Miss Dahlia Deering here, and today we'll be going over the top 3 things you need to know if you're going to become an independent author, children's book author. I want to make sure I say that. Yay! Top 3 things that you need to know when becoming an independent children's book author by Dahlia Deering. I don't know, that was a big smile. I thought that was what I was supposed to do, so here we go. Number 1, first thing you want to do when you're deciding that you want to become an independent author is understand, that was a terrible drum roll. It's okay. Understand that you need to become a salesman. Yes, a salesman. When you're becoming an independent children's book author, you're deciding, saying, I'm not going to have published backing. I'm not going to have somebody put up money for me. I'm not going the industrial route. I am doing this myself. So that does mean that yourself. So with you doing it yourself, even though I'm not saying it's impossible, there's so much success in it. There's so many things that you can do. But the biggest thing is you want to arm yourself with all the knowledge and information that you can when making this decision. So when you first start off, at least with me, I started off knowing, number 1, I am talented. I can write. I do have a gift. I have books that the world needs to hear. Woo, woohoo! Yes, that is true. Okay. But that is bare minimum. If you think about it, if your goal is to be an author or a good author at that, if you're going to be a good author, you got to be talented in writing. You got to have a story. The world needs to hear it. Like that kind of thing. So we've already covered that. That's expected for you. That type of greatness in you is already expected. The next thing is the push, though. How are you going to push this? How are you going to get everyone to be on your side, see that talent, read your book, support what you're doing? Those are the questions you have to ask. And so the way you do that is by selling them that. And so one of the biggest quotes, and my favorite quotes, is, I've heard it from Earl Nightingale. I listen to him a whole lot. Is in order to sell John Brown what John Brown buys, you must first see the world through John Brown's eyes. And that makes total sense because you've got to figure out who you're selling to. You've got to know about that person. So yes, deciding to become an independent children's book author, even though you think it is simple, there is a portion of that. There's some work you need to do. So that brings us to our second point, which is, I'm not going to drum roll this time because it went really wrong last time, but hear it in your head. Our second point is you've got to figure out who you're writing for and who you're writing to. And here is the trick. When you are writing a children's book, you are writing to 2 separate audiences. Always. Say, what? Yes, you are. Because you are writing for children and you decide what age they are. You decide, what kid that you're more relevant towards, but you're also writing for their parents because kids don't got no money. Yeah, they don't buy books. They don't read sometimes because they're kids, depending on how old they are. So you definitely need to be able to be a jack of both trades. I think I missed that. I don't think that's the phrase. But I feel like y'all are with me, so. So you're going to have to decide that you are going to be able to reach both sets. So when you write a book, it needs to be cute. I personally, when you're writing a children's book, more colors, the better. The brighter, the better. You want to keep them engaged, and you're going to find your interesting ways of doing that. And a lot of you guys out there are educators, and so you guys have a leg up, and you will make that happen. But the other portion of that is you've got to be parent friendly. When you're writing a book for children, you've got to have something that makes parents say, "Ooh, my daughter would like this book." Now, if you're writing a book about unicorns, most kids like unicorns, that will be a help. But at the end of the day, when you're writing to attract a parent, you've got to be on that parent side. Remember, they're your John Brown, your first John Brown. So you've got to see the world through that John Brown's eyes. And guess what that is? When parents are parenting, what are they doing? They're trying to teach their kids certain morals, certain principles, so on and so forth. You've got to figure out how your book makes their job easier. And then you got to put that smack dab at the front of your book. When you do that, then you have attracted that parent and they say, "Ooh, look at those words. Those are words and things that I'm either struggling with, trying to teach my child, or I want my child to know. I want my kid to be a part of that." So the first portion of figuring out who you're writing to and selling to has been completed. Yay! But the next thing is when the parent sees the words and they like it, what are those colors saying? What is that picture saying? Will my baby like that? Now you're getting to the second John Brown. That is the next job. You want to make sure that depending on the age group that you've decided, because remember, I don't know. I'm going to tell y'all, I don't know. The words just, they decided they was just going to run around in my mouth. So, everybody good?
All good.
Okay, we're going to start again. So, what I was going to say is, you've got to decide in your head at that point, how do I make these words that are awesome, this principle that is awesome and attractive to kids on the front of my book, attractive parents on the front of my book, also attractive to kids, and kids just like it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of pieces to that. And I'm only saying that there are some of us who have a natural talent for it. Yes, girl, some of us could just do it. That's not me. I researched. I did some work. But there are some people who actually can do this and just off the top, and for them, kudos. But make sure you're one of those people, and the best way to do that is to do the research. You need to make sure that you've understood that this is your journey, this is your job, and then you've done the research to make sure, and you figure out, how do I do this best, right? So my tips and tricks on that would be, number one, again, identify what age group that you are writing towards. Everybody thinks that they have a book that everybody can relate to. On my book, anybody who picks up my book will like it. That could be true, but we want them to pick up your book. So we might want to be specific. Okay, because if you want your book to be sold to kids that are in preschool or kids that are in second grade, then you've got to figure out areas where those people, where parents of kids of that age they will see your book. How do you get it in there? Do you think you're just going to make a book, print a book, walk into Target and stand next to a pile of them and give them out? I would love for that to happen. You're going to get arrested.
And that's no good.
But what I'm going to tell you is there is a way for you to figure out how to do this. The first thing is you've got to just figure out, though, who your audience is, who you're writing for, who you feel like these books apply to. And then you've got to be able to appeal. The salesman you has to be able to appeal to that first John Brown, which is the parents. And then the second John Brown is the little kids, and make sure they like it, So that is something that I want you, or I think you should do the research on, and you develop and become a better author when you do that. So please take the time to do that. So thirdly, like I said in advance, we're about to talk about how do I figure out my distributor. Where will I get this book sold? I've decided I'm going to become an author. I've decided that, I know exactly who I'm writing to and writing for. I've got the book going, in my hand. Where am I going to put this book and distribute it? That is something, again, that I would do research on. A lot of people talk about KDP. A lot of people go through Ingham Spark. A lot of people do both. I have done that. Some people do Lulu as well. I was very interested initially in BookBaby. There's tons of options out there for us independent children's book authors. If you want to go ahead and and choose one of these or all of these, you've got to figure out if that's even possible. There's a lot of little things that come up, like what is an ISBN number, which is a book that is kind of like it's your identification, your social security number for your book version of whatever it is you're printing. You'll learn more about that as you look those up. But that's my point. When you're becoming an independent author, you need to arm yourself with as much education on the subject or the topic as possible, because 9 times out of 10, if you are an independent author, you either again have unlimited resources or not unlimited time, or very limited of both. And the third one is normally the option that most people have. So in order to do that, you want to do the most research you can before you really embark on this, because it can become costly really fast. Now, am I going to tell you guys about tips and tricks and ways to make that cheaper? Of course I am. However, some things it just costs. If you're going to do this, you have to pay to play, and that's anything. So you've decided you're going to become an independent author. Here are the top 3 things that I think you should do. Number 1, decide that you're also going to become a salesman, and understand that and figure out what that means and looks like for you. Number 2, you need to identify who you're writing for and who you're writing to. Okay, age group, your target audience, that is super important. And then number 3, you're going to have to decide, where are you going to publish this book? Where are you going to have it distributed? How are you going to handle that? All 3 of those items, to me, are going to take some research and some effort from you. But if this is your dream, if this is something you want to do, you will figure out how to do it. So there's so much more that I want to tell you. I will be telling you a lot more about the process that I went through and how I got my books up. But that'll be another video. So yeah. That's it. Hopefully this was helpful. I know I rambled. I'm learning. These are my first YouTube videos, but definitely feel free to give me feedback. If there isn't anything else, I'm going to go ahead and do the benediction. I'm going to go ahead and leave. This is Dahlia Deering, and I am signing off. And so I want to tell you lastly, if someone must be great, why not you? And if you plan to be great, why wait? For however is a dream to come true, if it isn't put into action when you wake. And that quote is from my main character from my books and Fawn Fables, Doe the Deer, and her series will be coming soon. So again, check us out. Thanks to Blue Rose's Hair. Definitely we're the ones who are sponsoring us. That's why my hair is long and luscious, girl.
OMG! Yes!
But yes. Definitely check me out. Subscribe if you like this information, right? If you didn't like the information, at least let me know why. Give me feedback. I'm definitely growing. I'm doing it alongside you guys, and I just hope to see you at the end of the ride. Bye.